Hey there, Workforce. Chris here with Work to Game, and it is time for 4.05. Now, right off the bat, they did add some new furnishings for housing. I'm really liking this elephant, as well as some seeds. You're going to be able to pick those up from your vendor right there in like the mist or wherever your house is. Now, they also reduced the difficulty of gathering fish for those fieldcraft leaves, but honestly, I'm really just excited to get to this next Aquavolus. It's called the Lost Canals of Unsnair, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on some of these Ganganaskin maps, just so I can check it out. Now, just as the live letter predicted, there are going to be a lot of tweaks. I don't expect this to be the end of them. I imagine after we get our hands on Savage content, there's going to be another round of them that go out with 4.1, but let's dive into these. Yes, tank swapping did go ahead and make it. That is your ability to kind of change stances and kind of stance around without affecting your gauge. And yes, Holy Spirit was reduced potency from 430 down to 400 on those paladins. Sorry, guys. Now on Warrior, there's a potency increase on Storm's Path. Unchained and Inner Release did get their beast gauge cost removed, and Steel Cyclone now has kind of a life leech ability where it's going to gain some HP back. It's pretty cool. And Dark Knight's Quietus is going to go ahead and restore some MP. I know that's something that while Dark Knights may not always need it, it is something they crave, and you're going to see some potency increases on things like combos. Soul Eater, I think Dark Arts was in there, so you know, definitely should feel a little bit more powerful, maybe one step closer towards being equal to Paladins there. Now, Dragoon's got half a dozen changes here, and really it's all themed on things like Elusive Jump, cutting its recast time in half, Blood of the Dragon, increasing its duration from 15 to 20 seconds, Dragon Sight, doubling its range up to 12 yalms, Mirage Drive went ahead and shortened the animation lock. So you're just going to get a feel for all of these things, just hopefully making this back to what you expected it from how much people loved it in Heavensward. Ninjas was just the Gust Slash that they promised, and Machine has got a huge adjustment to the heat gauge. Hopefully this will help them be just as fun as Bard has been. Now, Black Mage got the Foul ability cost reduced to 0, which is awesome. Just one more thing worth earning if you can keep Enochian up. They also reduced the MP cost of Fire, and then did reduce the cast time of Fire 4 and Blizzard 4, which should help you feel more comfortable staying in that rotation when you're running around with all these crazy bosses, things like Menagerie. Summoner got an adjustment to Dreadworn Trance, where Aether Flow actions are no longer required to inflict an effect on a target to gain Ethereal Attunement, and White Mages got Lilies pushed on their Cure to 100% when healing a party, as well as some adjustments to Plenary Indulgence. Astrologian and Scholar got some nice adjustments as well, reductions in cast timers and increases in some potency. So across the board, you should just feel that your classes are a little closer to kind of what we're seeing come out of Red Mages and Samurais and Paladins, and these classes that really came into the expansion strong. Scholar also picked up Miasma 2, Astrologian picked up Empty Road and Undraw Spread. Look forward to seeing what that does to kind of people's rotations and if that makes things better. Now, Savage Mode Omega did get added, and it starts at eye level 310, shouldn't be too hard to get. I've been pretty casual and I'm already there on my Black Mage, so I'm sure many of you are well beyond me, probably on multiple classes. By the time you get into that 4th turn, it is requiring eye level 320. That's going to be a little more difficult if you haven't been picking up all your Omega gear already. You'll pick the quest in Rhalgr's Reach, and assuming that you go ahead and knock it down, you are going to be getting Deltascape data logs to trade for gear. Now, what you're really hoping for is on completing that turn 4 on Savage, you are going to be getting a Genji Coffer. Using that on a class will turn it into the weapon for the class that you use it on. So make sure that you are on the class that you want the weapon for when you right-click that item. We are back up to 2 Allagan Tomes. This one is Creation, so now you'll have Verities as kind of that lower tier tome. You know, you've just hit 70, let's push you out to 310 gear, and then you're going to have those Creation Tomes for higher level of gear. This should help you push to the next level of gear. Expert Roulettes is going to drop 40. The rest of them will kind of drop in that 5 to 10 range, with Frontlines actually dropping 20, so that'll be neat to see. And speaking of Frontlines, pretty much every single class got a small adjustment in PvP. Paladin's Hallowed Ground got a buff to now it affects everybody whether or not they take damage. Warriors' recast times got reduced from 120 to 90 seconds on Inner Release, and their knockback got pushed up to 6 yalms. Should push people off things, that always drives me nuts. Dark Knight's recast time on Unmend actually got pushed from 10 to 30 seconds. Monks got a huge boost to Riddle of Fire, and their HP actually got a small bump. Dragoons got this same boost, pushing both of them up to 13,000 instead of 12,500, and Ninjas actually got Assassinate, resetting every time they get a kill or an assist. That's pretty cool. They also got a couple buffs on a couple of moves. Samurai actually got reduced on a couple of moves, and Machinist looked to be adjusted as well. Black Mage got an adjustment to Thunder and a buff to Flare. Summoner's got a bit of a reduction, and Red Mage actually got a buff, which I feel like is odd because Red Mage has been tearing it up, at least in my personal experience. White Mage across the board got a couple of buffs, actually even increasing their health pool. They also got Divine Benison, no longer requiring the Lily, so I just feel like you're making the best healing class in the game in PvP a little bit better. The Scholar and Astrologian got some boost too, and we'll have to see how that plays out. Astrologian actually looks like a lot of things have been doubled in duration, so maybe that's enough to make them relevant. The loot for PvP has been adjusted as well, but honestly, I'm more excited to just see what the loot in general is. There's new mounts, new minions, new items, new gear, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't want to get too deep into it because I like being surprised with how I see people looking, but absolutely feel free to go out there and look for that if you don't mind it being a spoiler. I am really excited about this patch. At this point, they've picked up a number of known issues, they've made a lot of small balance tweaks. I imagine they'll make another round of them after we get through Savage. It looks like they're trying to, instead of just nerfing down the few classes that people are really enjoying, just trying to bring all the others up to that point, which is awesome. It does concern me a little bit about power creep, but overall I think this is going to be a very good patch. I look forward to trying Savage. I look forward to seeing where they go from here with 4.1. I still feel like we're missing huge chunks of the things that we expect in Stormblood, so I can't wait to see when we get those, but I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. YouTube has a pretty cool video waiting for you over here. Our latest vlog is down below. For those of you new, subscribe is over here, and all of our other contact info is just right below me here. Thanks for watching.